Hello, this is question 4 in your June 2023 paper 1 from Edexcel, the AS paper. You have to sketch the curve with this equation. It's a reciprocal graph. K is a positive constant. So it will look something, remember, like this. So I have my axis, and a reciprocal graph when the K is positive is looking like this. I have two asymptotes, one horizontal, one vertical. Remember, get your graph as close as you can, but don't touch it even by accident, because then it looks that as if you don't know what an asymptote is. Yeah, and then hence or otherwise solve this inequality. So I would say once you have drawn the graph, it's very easy to see graphically. Yeah, so this graph, which is this one, because the K is positive, so it's going to look something like this one, must be smaller or equal than 2. This y equal 2 is this line. So I have a line y equals 2, and I need to see when this graph is below, because it's smaller, or equal than 2. So I have this branch here, included the 2, and this branch here, where my graph is smaller. Yeah, so this graph is this one, this graph is this one, so this is below this one in these occasions. So we can find this point, which is the intersection between this y equal 2 and this 16 over x. Yeah, so we are going to solve 16 over x equals to 2, which means x is going to be 16 divided by 2, which is 8. So this point of intersection is 8. Yeah, so my graph is going to be below the 2 when x is 8 or more than 8, or when x is smaller than 0, because when x is smaller than 0, again, this is below the line. Yeah, it cannot be 0, because for 0 my reciprocal graph is never defined. Yeah, and they tell you here, they remind you here. So what is the answer? Is going to be x greater or equal than 8, or x smaller than 0, and it cannot be 0 because for 0 is not defined. If they ask you set notation, it's not the case, but just in case I'm going to remind you, what we are going to do is to write the same, but in front of each of them we are going to write x column and the curly brackets. Yeah, and if it say or, we are going to write the union symbol, and again the curly brackets, x column, x smaller than 0. They are not asking you set notation, but many times they do, and this is how we write the same but in set notation. Yeah, and that's all with this question.